Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. This is the Daily Brief by the Dakotan. I'm Kyler Collum. Today in history, we have some fun events. 1865, during the Civil War, Robert E. Lee surrenders the Army of Northern Virginia to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. That was effectively signaling the end of any military engagements during the Civil War. In 1969, the first British-built Concorde jet makes its maiden flight, which Concorde jets, of course, were the first and last supersonic passenger jet. In 1994, the Space Shuttle program has Endeavour launched, and obviously Endeavour came to be after the explosion of the Challenger disaster in 1986. And finally, in 2003, in the Iraq War, Baghdad falls to American forces. That worked out great. Today in weather, we got a nice day coming up. Looks like going to be a high in the mid-50s, about 56. Going to have a breezy day. Look. Wow, if this is right, 75 for a high on Friday. It's going to be beautiful this weekend, folks. Make sure you're looking out for that. Now, some fun headlines we had recently. City Council has first meeting following the mayor's resignation. Got a full write-up on that for a recap of that event. Make sure you check it out. Interim Mayor Mark Jantzer was interviewed yesterday by our good friend Jonathan Starr. He did a great job. It was in that episode of Minot Matters. Jantzer sat down for wide-ranging conversations on some key issues facing Minot today, from updates on flood protection funding and city budget priorities to the outlook on special elections and leadership transitions. The episode provides a timely snapshot of where the city stands and where it's headed. Make sure you tune in to hear Jantzer's insights on how the city's navigating some of these recent challenges we've faced. If you haven't heard, Leif Snyder was honored by the city with Leif Snyder Appreciation Day. That will be next Thursday, April 17th. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. It celebrates his dedication to the community and public discourse. Obviously, Leif, huge impact in the community, not just to Minot, but us here at the Dakotan. One other one coming in a little more locally, Keystone pipeline on the eastern part of the state was shut down yesterday morning after a leak was detected in Barnes County, about 3 miles north of Fort Ransom State Park. The spill, currently contained to a nearby farm field, prompted an immediate shutdown by the operator Southbow. The volume of oil released and the extent of contamination was unknown as of last night. State and federal agencies, including the North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality and the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, that's a thing, are investigating and overseeing cleanup efforts. So that's happening on the eastern side of the state. Nervous senators from both parties pressed Trump trade rep on tariffs as high as 104%. So U.S. Trade Rep Jamison Greer defended Trump's sweeping new tariffs during a tense Senate Finance Committee hearing, acting bipartisan concerns about economic fallout as the tariffs, some as high as 50%, begin taking effect. Senators question their impact on small businesses, trade partners, and inflation. While Greer insists policies are common sense, lawmakers like Senator Ron Wyden called the effort a chaotic tariff spree and pledged legislative pushback. With global markets rattled and allies retaliating, pressure is mounting on the administration to explain its strategy and timeline. And of course, coming into today, higher tariffs were placed on China, as China has also retaliated to place higher tariffs back on us. The AP won reinstatement to the White House events after a judge rules the government can't bar its journalists. And then finally, Trump had some wins with the Supreme Court when it blocked the order requiring the administration to reinstate thousands of federal workers. So the U.S. Supreme Court sided with the Trump administration Tuesday, blocking a lower court order that would have forced the rehiring of 16,000 federal workers that were terminated as part of sweeping agency downsizing. The justices questioned whether advocacy groups had standing to sue, though separate legal challenges over the mass firings continue in other courts. The ruling is the latest in a string of high court decisions upholding the Trump's federal overhaul efforts. So make sure to not be surprised when you see a lot more overhaul coming from DOJ and some high-end government agencies, whether or not they end up getting codified or not into law, but definitely a big win for the Trump administration there. Then later on today, make sure you're checking us out. There will be the Let's Talk About It Minot podcast coming with Rob Fuller today. We're going to have some great articles coming out. We're going to have some more deep dives into some specifics on the city council meeting from this week. And Jonathan also has some interviews coming up later this week with Lisa Hermosillo and city manager Harold Stewart. And of course, tomorrow, Thursday, make sure you check out ND Talk Live with myself. I will have guest Sean Sitma on with us. We're going to break down some of these recent happenings in the city, talk about the special election, some potential candidates maybe. Then Sean is an expert on flood control, so we'll definitely be diving into what impacts that could have coming up out of legislative session. So thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We appreciate every single one of you that does. It allows us to continue the hopes of doing this in a full-time capacity. Make sure you ring the bell button on YouTube so you can get notifications for this every time we release them, hopefully at 7:30. And as always, have a great day, and thank you for watching.